Ukrainian army is targeting Russian generals in Ukraine. They have eliminated at least 5 Russian generals in the past 5 days. It doesn't matter how high the rank is, Russian command structure is not safe in Ukraine. Anywhere. This is the whole of Ukraine. These red Kalashnikov icons show you where Russia is actively trying to push. And I'll tell you, this map did not look like this 2 days ago. Russia has initiated an all-out push on all fronts. After 2 days of these battles, we know that Ukrainians have stopped them almost everywhere. But let's dive into the details. I have mentioned these thin red lines before. The Russians do not have enough troops and they're not able to control the countryside, and they can only stay on paved roads. So you can see these thin red lines following the paved roads. They are still trying to surround Kiev, but Ukrainian counterattacks have made it impossible for them. Kiev is holding, Chernihiv is holding, the whole northern front is holding strong, and Ukrainian army in the north is already making small counterattacks. In the east we have Kharkiv, which is holding strong also. This is Mariupol. There are rumors that Putin personally has ordered to not let any civilians escape this city and to bombard it to the ground. Because this city is the only thing between Putin's land corridor between Russia and Crimea. Russian army has been bombarding Mariupol non-stop for the last 2 weeks, and now we get these horrifying videos of Ukrainians burying their dead in mass graves. There are too many casualties, they cannot dig graves or arrange funerals anymore. But these are Putin's orders. Putin wants to turn the civilians into weapons against President Zelensky. The Russian command structure has now understood that they are not able to take big cities from Ukraine, so they will bombard them to make the suffering of the civilians so high that the civilians would pressure Zelensky and the command structure of Ukraine to sign peace treaties, to stop the war, no matter the conditions. Actually, a day ago, they launched a huge invasion into the city. They sent a column after column into Mariupol, but the city defenses held and they were beaten back. With that one big push, Russians lost 150 troops as casualties. They also lost 2 tanks and 7 infantry fighting vehicles. These losses happened during the starting phase of the invasion of the city. This morning we got reports that a lot of Russian troops were hiding in the city, in between of residential areas, in between of apartment blocks, so they couldn't be bombarded from above or by drones. But Ukrainian Azov battalion and special forces are very strongly rooted in Mariupol, and we have reports that they have been eliminating these hiding Russian units one by one. They're doing this at night, and through Russian comms in Mariupol you can already hear that they are afraid of the ghosts in the night. The ghost in the night being Ukrainian special forces destroying Russian units bit by bit every night systematically. With this tempo, Mariupol will be cleared of Russian units within 1 to 2 days. Russian main invasion to Mariupol has retreated after taking huge losses, and the units hiding in Mariupol are picked off. My friends, these videos wouldn't be possible without the Patreons supporting the channel. I will read you 5 new Patreon names. Let's all acknowledge and thank them. We have Jenna Myers. Yes, I'll be reading them with an Estonian pronunciation. Jon Brady, Sergeant Goodfight, Angelo Mendoza, Matteo Cameron. Thank you to all 5 of these people. If you want to support the channel, Patreon link is in the description below. Become a tier 10 or above patron and I'll be reading your name. Instagram, Facebook and Twitter were all blocked in Russia. The only major Western social media platform active in the country right now is YouTube. This is no a Russian YouTuber commenting on the Russian decisions to block Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.
Facebook, the company, which is now called Meta, is going to be now considered as an extremist organization on the territory of Russia.
Marina Ovsyannikova, the editor for the Russian state-controlled TV channel Первый, which means first, took a brave step.
Российский премьер подчеркнул, надо усилить сотрудничество в рамках союзного государства, а на совещании в правительстве обсуждали, как сохранить доступность.
Russian people are strongly controlled by television. Majority of Russian population, unfortunately, trusts their state TV channels. Well, Marina Ovsyannikova has cracked that image a little bit. Her father is Ukrainian. In this video you can see her saying that she is ashamed to be working for Russian propaganda TV channel.
К сожалению, последние годы я работала на Первом канале, занимаясь кремлевской пропагандой. И мне сейчас очень стыдно за это. Стыдно за то, что позволяла говорить ложь с экрана телевизора. Стыдно за то, что позволяла зомбировать русских людей.
We can only assume what they're gonna do with her. As of now, she is missing, nobody knows where she is. But in my eyes, she is a hero. For a moment, let's go back to the Mariupol front. Here is a video of a Ukrainian BTR destroying Russian BMP with its infantry. You can see the infantry behind it walking. As much as I know, the Ukrainian BTR-4 has a 30mm automated cannon, and as you can see, it's very destructive against the BMP-1. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, but yes, 5 Russian generals have been eliminated in Ukraine. The Ukrainian army is targeting the generals. And as much it has a strategic effect, it has a psychological effect. A huge psychological effect on Russian command structure. Shows that it doesn't matter how high of a rank you are, where you are hiding. Usually the generals are hiding behind their army in a command post somewhere well defended. But they're being picked off. Let's talk about Russian losses according to Ukraine Defense Ministry. Ukrainian army has let us know that they're not actively updating the Russian manpower losses because it is just not their #1 priority. But as of now, the number is 13,500 plus dead Russian troops. We are not talking about wounded yet. Wounded are usually 2 to 3 times the number of dead, so if these numbers are correct, we're talking about close to 50,000 wounded. If you add the wounded and the casualties, we're talking about a third of the entire Russian invading force out of the battle. A lot of tanks and planes and helicopters. These are the most expensive pieces of equipment they're losing daily. United States Intelligence Service gives us different numbers. They are more conservative with the Russian losses. They estimate the losses to be about 5,000 to 6,000, but even this number is incredibly high, taking into account that wounded is usually 2 to 3 times the losses. This is Melitopol. There was a huge battle here yesterday. A massive Russian convoy of about 200 vehicles was ambushed. Out of those 200, about 50 were destroyed by Ukrainian army. You're gonna hear the fears in the Russian comms that it doesn't matter how big your convoy is, it will be withered down. We have worrying news from the Middle East. Syria, an al-Assad regime backed by Russia, has been gathering volunteers to fight for Russia in Ukraine. And according to some sources, the numbers of volunteers wanting to go to fight for Russia in Ukraine is up to 40,000. We don't know if any of them have already left Syria, but this shows us how desperate Russia is. Russia is a country with huge manpower potential, but they cannot use it. The entire Russian military operation relies on the propaganda machine that has served it as a special operation, not war. A special operation does not need an all-out mobilization. If you do that, you admit to the Russian people that you are failing in Ukraine. So they cannot mobilize. If they will, they crack their own propaganda image. But they are desperate, the Russian command structure. So they turn to Syria, which also has a lot of manpower potential. These troops won't be any good. They're not used to fighting in cold. They're not used to fighting in Ukrainian terrain. They're low-trained, low-equipped, and possibly low-morale soldiers. Cannon fodder. But Ukrainians are used to cannon fodder. The whole Russian army is cannon fodder. But it shows us that Russia is desperate. And they have limited options. Another piece of information that shows us the cracks in the Russian command structure and the paranoia of Vladimir Putin is Putin has placed the head of FSB, that is the former KGB, the head of that structure, Sergei Beseda, under house arrest. Putin accuses him of lying to him, painting the wrong image. Supposedly the FSB was supposed to create the 5th column of Russians in Ukraine. What is the 5th column? In all of the countries surrounding Russia, there is a 5th column. Russian agents who are on Kremlin's payroll that work to destabilize the area and create resistance movements that can be activated during the invasion, for example. The amounts Putin poured into Ukraine's 5th columns are above 5 billion USD. Not rubles, USD. But turns out that all of that money went to the pockets of the FSB agents and the pocket of the head of the FSB. That is called corruption. And Russia has a lot of it. So the FSB has been lying to Putin about the capabilities of Russian fifth column in Ukraine. Well, Putin had it coming because he was a KGB agent once and he was lying to his boss the same way to save face. I guess he has forgotten about that. With watching this video, you have chosen a side in the information war against Kremlin. This information war takes part in all aspects of life. It is very prominent in Estonia, but I'm sure you can see it also in the EU and in America. Be aware of misinformation. If you like this channel, please become a patron tier 10 and above and I'll read your name. Or if you want to discuss this topic in the Estonian Soldier Discord server, then click the link in the description below, go to the server and become a member of the channel if you want to be a full-fledged member of the server. It's only 99 cents anyway. Thank you for watching and until my next video, Slava Ukraini!